We are back on the show, and is talking about sleepers, Dallas Cowboys. Where do you think all those targets going to finish in?
All those targets, that's a good question. Number one, Dak's shoulder. I don't trust it yet. I don't think he'll be the same he was a few years ago or before he got hurt last year. I think it'll take time. This should be like a bridge year for him before he gets back to his full form. But those targets obviously are going to Cooper and CD. And honestly, I feel like people don't realize that Zeke is a good pass catcher. I don't know what that meant. Pass catcher out of the backfield.
You think Tony's going to be that pass catcher?
I think once in a while to spell Zeke, but not the main guy. I think Zeke had a lot of passes this year.
So let's go with deep sleepers. We never heard your deep sleepers.
My deep sleepers?
Who do you have?
I mean, I don't want to give my guys up.
I'm not
too
stealing
quickly.
any of your dudes. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. You always take my guys, but that's fine.
Not at all.
One deep sleeper that I have, I know you kind of trashed him a little bit, but is Phillip Lindsay. Because right now, Johnson's number one guy in that backfield, which is fine.
He's already said he's not going to get that much work. He said it himself.
And we all know he's going to get hurt. I hate to say it, but it's true. He will get hurt at some point this year. And Lindsay's that guy in the backfield. You know, he can catch the ball, run the ball. He can be that goal line back for you. He can do whatever. So I think he is that deep sleeper. If he's on waivers, you can get him, leave him for a little bit. He could produce for you on your like a flex probably.
I have it. I could go on forever about deep sleepers, but some other guys to talk about that could maybe make some noise. See how they are. But I got tight ends is the biggest step I have this year of sleepers. Donald Parham Jr. from LA. Switch from wide receiver to tight end. Could be good. Pittsburgh tight end Pat Fairmouth is getting more and more hype from Notre Dame. Kylan Granton is the guy I probably like the most out of the tight end group. Indianapolis, he could break out. And Jacob Harris, backup tight end in LA with Tyler Higbee, could also get some hype move from receiver to tight end.
So what are your thoughts on the whole Detroit situation? Because obviously there aren't a lot of people to go around to catch passes.
Not at all.
Like, Hawkinson is going to be that guy.
I think Jamal Williams is a very good pick in every league. I think DeAndre Swift, he's playing this week, but I don't think he'll be able to stay healthy. I think Jamal Williams is a bigger role there than people will expect. I think Jamal Williams will be very good. He's going to be, I say he's an RB3. He's not even a big handcuff guy. But if Swift went down, he'll be very good. That's why something like A.J. Dillon, people don't know how good he could be, but Dillon could still get the Jamal Williams role.
But I think we failed to mention Tyrell Williams is on that team.
Yeah, and St. Brown.
Like, if he can stay healthy, he was our 1,000-yard receiver one year.
Yeah, he was.
He can be that guy again if he can stay healthy, and no one else is there to challenge for targets. So
Monroe St. Brown. They cut Perriman, right? Was that them?
I
want to say Perriman was in Detroit. They cut him. He was signed elsewhere. But St. Brown, Monroe St. Brown, third-round pick, has been getting a decent amount of hype over there. But wait and see. But other receivers have deep sleepers. I gotta go. Nico Collins on Houston, kind of like him, but I think he's gonna be a sophomore year guy. Joshua Palmer, LA Chargers, going to be somewhat decent. But those are two guys I think could break out as a deep sleeper over there. Brian Edwards, are you on that hype train?
No.
What about the whole Oakland overall? Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, the 1-2 combo.
If you can't see me, I'm shaking my head. Not for 1 second. That whole offense, I don't trust John Gruden being any coach at any level of football. So I don't trust Derek Carr. I don't trust Josh Jacobs. I don't trust Brian Edwards. I don't trust Kenyon Drake. None of them. I don't want nothing to do with that team.
You already saw Kenyon Drake, though, in one of our drafts. What, 7th round?
See,
it was early. Maybe 6th. I want to say it was 7th, though.
That was a complete accident. I did not mean to do that. And looking back on it, I regret that so much. But it happened. I had no choice to stick with him. I can't drop him because he's too good to be dropped. But yeah, that hurt my heart a little bit. But since you're that whole tight end guy, whatever you called yourself, what are your thoughts on the two Pats tight ends in fantasy?
Either one I'm not a huge fan of. I don't think they should be rostered in most leagues, Jonnu or Hunter Henry. I think Jonnu, if you're desperate, yeah, you could stream him, but I don't know which one's going to break out more. They're both interesting guys, but as of week 1, I don't want to start any New England Patriot unless you're desperate.
I
Not
think
a single
that
guy in that team.
if Cam was there, I would pick up Jonnu and not start him, but like watch him a little bit because I know Cam and his tight ends are pretty solid. But the whole question with Mac is that you saw at Bama, he had no real tight end. He threw receivers. And that offense didn't really target tight ends like that. So in the NFL, I don't know if he'll be able to get that going with the tight ends or not because he has 2 solid tight ends there.
If you NFL-wise, probably top 10 tight ends.
Yeah, easy. Top 5 maybe.
Yeah, they could either be top 5.
But it's that, will he get them the ball? That's the real question because he's never really had to in the past.
Jacoby Myers' stock definitely went up.
100%. I'm so happy I got him.
I mean, with the cut of Cam Newton, I think it's going to be interesting how that whole New England ends up just turning out. And I'm going to stay with the AFC East. I don't like Myles Gaskin. I think Malcolm Brown could get those goal line touches. Gaskin gets you like 10 points a week, but I think Malcolm Brown's a real problem, man. Salvin Ahmed isn't that bad. He showed it last year. No place. I don't know, Will Fuller, 1 game suspended, see what he can do. I don't want Tua at all. And
at
Mike
all?
Gesicki. No, I don't want Tua in any leagues.
That's interesting.
I'm not huge on Tua.
But with the whole Myles Gaskin thing, I think they brought in Malcolm Brown for what, $2.3 million, something like that, for his contract.
He needs his size. He can play the goal line.
Yeah, and you don't sign a guy like that to not play them. So, of course, he'll get a good amount of playing time. I think Gaskin can still be serviceable in certain aspects of the game, but I wouldn't think he's top 20 back next year.
Who do you have this year as a total bust? Total bust. I have Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is where he's going in drafts, like 3rd round. I think next year he's going to be like a 10th round pick. I think he is. I don't think he's good at all. I don't like Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is. People are going to regret drafting him. He's going to be a big streamer. This week he could have a good week against Atlanta because Atlanta didn't really improve the defense that much, but I don't like Miles Sanders.
So I have 2 guys I think will not be good at all this year. Number 1 is Saquon Barkley. As a player,
health-wise or playing?
Well, like him personally, he is super, super talented. That's just, you can't deny that. But coming off an ACL injury with the shaky O-line, with the shaky quarterback, with shaky receivers, we saw it 2 years ago where he couldn't go anywhere, couldn't know where to go in the first place. He had no lanes to run in. There were certain games where he put up, 5-6 points because he didn't know where to go. So it's tough for him to produce when he has nowhere to run. And my second guy is Derrick Henry. I think
he can do 3 straight years with
that's not going to happen.
Rushing yards?
There were stats out a few weeks ago that every person who was the rushing leader the next year always gets scaled back a whole lot more.
Well, you got the rushing leader back-to-back years.
Well, at some point it's going to go down at some point. I think it was the most carries, actually, is what it was. And he was the most carries last year. I think it will go down by a good amount this year. And then them bringing in Julio, they're going to pass the ball a whole lot more, people realize.
Yeah, I think that whole Tennessee team, that's a good squad.
They're
going to be a Super Bowl contender this year.
Yeah, and we didn't realize it back when he was in Miami, but Tannehill's legit.
Yeah, Tannehill's definitely. He's one of the top quarterbacks, top 12 at least.
That just shows you how Miami.
What do you think now? The Adam Gase effect, Sam Darnold. He's going to be good. He has the targets.
He does.
Solid targets, McCaffrey. And you have the 3 receivers talked about, Anderson, DJ Moore, and now Terrence Marshall.
I don't think he'll be like MVP caliber, obviously not.
How about week 1 against the Jets?
He's going to light them up. Oh, my gosh.
Revenge?
It's going to be so bad to watch, so fun to watch at the same time. He is going to light that secondary up all day. It's going to be a blowout. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a big week, but I think Darnold's nothing crazy. He's going to be decent, mediocre rest of his career. I also want to, I just realized a few wide receivers forgot. Big guy I like who could break out. Hype's going up a little. Gabriel Davis and Buffalo.
That's fair.
I think sophomore year now, he could be good. And Rondell Moore, Arizona, do it all. Kind of like Laviska Shenault. Maybe not this year, but next year could be his year. But definitely a guy to watch. Now, bold predictions. What do you have?
Bold predictions. First one. Justin Jefferson is not a top 10 receiver next year.
Where will he finish in the rankings?
I'd say
around?
top 15, maybe like 13, 14, 15. But I don't think he'll be in that top 10 like he was last year. I think that offense as a whole is going to go down. I mean, no Irv Smith gives him more targets, but I think teams will be ready for him this year. And Adam Thielen, also, I think he will not be good at all this year either.
Yeah, his time's coming up soon.
Yeah. So, yeah, two guys I don't think will be good next year.
I'll say my deep sleepers again. Juwan Johnson will be a top 15 tight end this year.
Top 15 means nothing.
Top 15.
That means nothing.
For a guy who's owned less than 1% of leagues?
There's like 4 people you can play in tight ends like that are actually good. You have what? Kittle, Kelsey, Zach Ertz is gone. Who else is there? Darren Waller.
Say Goddard.
Goddard, so that's 4.
Think Pitt's going to be good?
Pitt's questionable 5.
Hawkinson
6. So top 15 does not be in that.
All right, I say top 12.
Even that is
top 12. Juwan
but
Johnson, top 12, tight end. A guy who's owning 1% of leagues.
Would be a top 12 tight end. That isn't hard to
Jameis
do.
Winston loves his tight ends. O.J. Howard is amazing one year just because of Jameis Winston.
That's probably true, but it's not hard to do with that tight end core you have in fantasy, being a top 12 tight end. Like, who was the top 12 tight ends last year? I don't even know. Probably some no-name bum that was number 12 last year.
Juwan. He's going to be a top guy. He's going to be fantasy relevant. Nobody's talking about him. Remember, last year, I know you a lot. I said Antonio Gibson will be a second-round pick this year, and he's exactly a second-round pick.
That was luck.
And another guy I love is Tyson Williams this year. Tyson Williams will be a top 25 running back for the entire season. I think Gus is still going to be solid, but Tyson Williams will solidify that receiving role and going to get some work in the running game.
So right now on fantasypros.com, they have Juwan Johnson rated 48.
Yep.
At number 12 is Mike Gesicki.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a big difference, in my opinion. Between them, you have Gerald Everett, Evan Ingram, Jared Cook.
Everett's getting some hype. But I still think Will Disley is slept on there. I think Disley could have not an amazing year, but he's going to definitely. They can have 2 tight ends set there.
That whole tight end room in the whole entire NFL and fantasy-wise, I don't think we all know it's not deep at all.
No.
Once those top 3 guys go, it's like just throwing darts.
I think tight ends could be like every year. I usually have some of the worst tight ends, and it always works out. Or I'll draft somebody good, and I usually have a good eye for those tight ends. I have Waller. The year he broke out, I picked him up before the season even started. Traded him. There's a lot of guys. I think tight end is one of those positions you can be comfortable drafting late. And my guy this year is Juwan Johnson. That's the tight end.
You got that.
And Tyson Williams. Marquez Callaway, not really bold anymore. I said it a few weeks before he even broke out, but I think Callaway could be a top 20 receiver this year.
And the secret's also out in Cincinnati that Jamar Chase has struggled this whole entire preseason.
Chase is that good.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be good this year at all. I think T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd are top 2 guys you want.
What do you think today? I said they think Kadarius Toney's going to get a decent amount of work week 1.
Next.
Yeah, I don't think Toney's that good at all.
Next question. That whole offense, I don't want anything to do with them.
That whole place is kind of just like, not a huge fan of. But I think Kyle Pitts is going to break out. He's going to be, it's going to be, instead of those 3, that tier with those 3 top tight ends, I think Pitt's going to enter that conversation for next year's draft.
My whole problem with drafting rookies is, like, I have trust issues with rookies.
You've never seen a guy like Kyle Pitts.
Because McCaffrey's rookie year, I picked him, and he was up and down for me.
He was solid, but like nothing amazing.
Like, that hurt ever since then, I can't trust rookies.
But we've never seen a guy like Kyle Pitts.
That's true, but
there's never been a tight end in recent years since, I don't know, what, 15, 20 years ago, Kellen Winslow Jr., who's now in prison. Like, he was solid in Florida, drafted high, but we haven't seen a tight end this good.
But that whole offense, it's literally Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, the end. So teams will scheme for him to shut him down. Teams have gotten bigger cornerbacks to guard those big tight ends.
It worked, though, with Julio and Ridley.
Yeah, that's
Pitts is going to be in the slot this year.
Julio's a generational receiver. It doesn't come around that often. But Kyle Pitts, I think he will be very good NFL-wise, but fantasy-wise, I think he's being a little overdrafted right now. He'll still be solid, but not.
Where do you draft him at tight ends? Draft in front of Hawkinson?
No. I wouldn't do
Rather
that.
have Hawkinson than
Because
him.
Hodgson's proven that he can do this for real over and over again.
Pitts has that just boom potential that you have to love.
I would say Pitts is right after Hawkinson, but I wouldn't trust Pitts on my team as of now because I don't like rookies.
I know Pitts. I like him. Some leagues he's going too early. One more thing I have to say with a streamer guy to watch out for is nobody really talks about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was insane at the end of last year. And this year, for the at least first 6 games, I think he will be a top 10 quarterback when he's on a majority of leagues.
But now, is that because he's such a good quarterback or because his schedule is that easy? Which one is
Targets.
it?
Last year he finished 11th overall.
That's
But now
fair.
he has the targets and with these schedule. Week 1, Cincinnati, not good. Week 2, Arizona. Arizona's defense mediocre. Week 3, Seattle. Seattle's pass defense is terrible. Week 4, you have Cleveland. Cleveland's pass defense is mediocre. Week 5, Detroit. Detroit's not good on defense. Then week 6, you have Carolina.
So I
Those
think,
6 games all under.
but that's more talking about how easy his schedule is more than how good he actually
Yeah,
is.
but he's still a solid QB, a good enough QB that good with that easy schedule to crack that top 10,
I
maybe
think,
even top 8 for those
like,
6 weeks.
He's a very good, like a steady, reliable wide receiver, quarterback too. That if you need him in like your Superflex leagues as a QB2, he can do that for you. But if you want a higher upside guy that can finish in that top 10 if he pops off as he should, I would take Baker Mayfield over Kirk.
I'm talking about Kirk just for these 6 weeks. From
Those 6
week
weeks?
1 to week 6.
I
I think he
mean-
will be. Like me, I have him, and I have like Trey Lance as my backup because I'm hoping by the time that easy schedule is done, Trey Lance will be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
That could be a super smart move on your part, or it could blow up in your face completely.
Yeah,
So
like
we'll
how
see
it
how that
works.
works.
But I don't know. I think Kirk is going to surprise some people. But we'll have to wait and see. Anything else you want to add, Marcus?
That's it. But
Well-
actually, let me just get this in there. Y'all, I am in 3 leagues. Every single year, I get better and better and better. Right now, it is 6:42 p.m., Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. We can record this and put it somewhere. Right now, I'm telling you, I will win 2 out of my 3 leagues.
Wow.
I can promise that. You heard it here first.
Well, you know, my fantasy football, probably career last like 4 years, I would say. I've been in probably about 14 leagues. I missed the playoffs in 1.
But how many times have you won? 0.
Oh, 1, that's the thing. This
thank
year.
you. 0.
In our school one, it would have been 4-5 years. You know what has happened every year?
What happened?
I've been a first round exit.
Yeah, it's because you're trash.
And
that's
this
why.
year, it's going to be different. I'm at least going to win a game in the playoffs. Don't know about championship, but I'm liking my squad this year.
See, the problem between us is you're striving for what? A second
I'm
round
gonna win.
exit?
I'm hoping to win the
Me?
championship.
I have higher hopes than you.
Your
That's why I'm gonna be
team,
successful.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
My team
You got
is a lot
lucky with
better than your
injuries.
Yeah. Now, is lucky or you have intuition?
It's lucky.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
Marcus has Gus Edwards and Robinson. They drafted for ETN and Dobbins ever got hurt.
Because I'm clutch. That's why. That's what I do.
Then
I do clutch.
my other leagues made the playoffs every year. There's a whole trade embargo on me because I'm known for finessing kids in trades. But every year I made the playoffs. Every year but one. 1 year I won the championship. Every other year I've been a first round exit. And now
So-
last year I made the playoffs in every league.
All I'm
And I was
hearing
about a
is
first round exit in all but one.
you're striving for mediocrity. Is that what
No.
it is? Yeah, that's what you're doing. Us over here on Marcus' squad, we don't strive for
How many
that.
championships?
That
have you
don't
won?
matter.
That's the thing.
That don't matter.
I'll
That's in the
I'll
past.
win one of these 3 leagues that I'm in. One of them, the college ones,
All right, cool. I'll win 2 of them. Bet. So-
I'll win.
All right, so will I. So one of us is wrong. We'll see who it is. Not me, though.
We'll see.
That's all I
September
gotta
8th,
say.
we'll go back and what about middle of December? We'll end week 17.
All right, but we need to bet, though. We need to bet something.
What do you want to bet?
I don't know. Let's see.
But what if we both finish like 3rd and 4th? Like it has to be like one a
So in the high school league that we are in, whoever finishes worst has to do something we'll decide on later. Is that fair?
Yeah, should we get more people involved in it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll do that.
I'll definitely be down to do that.
Okay, and we'll come back to
We'll come back to it, saying in a future podcast. But anything else you'd like to add?
That's it. I'm going to win.
We'll wait and see. Marcus won't win. But stay tuned. Next week, we'll be back for another podcast of Come Talk About Sports.